I've been waiting for you, Ava.
How does she know my name?
You've been carrying a great, heavy burden, my dear. You can't outrun it, and you can no longer lift it.
I don't know what you mean.
Give me your left hand. Hmm. Ava, you need to watch your back. Your past is catching up to you. You know the truth, Ava. You cannot outrun it. You have deep, dark secrets, Ava.
Yes, yes, yes. So as you can see, that movie, has quite a few plot twists. So please make sure you check it out. That is a movie called Blood Ties. That is directed by our next guest that's in the building. So I had to make sure that I had on my bra, so I could be presentable enough to present to you a filmmaker who took the time to grace us with our presence. So without further ado, I want to present to others and introduce to you Mr. Daddy Love. Here we go.
I'm coming up, I'm pressing on, I'm getting over, I'm an I'm coming up, I'm pressing on, I'm getting over it, I'm an overcomer.
All right, here he is in the building, Mr. Daddy Love. Thank you so much for being here. And please, excuse my technical issues. I don't know, it's like a delay or something. I'm not sure why that is, but we have Daddy Love in the building, filmmaker, urban filmmaker, and I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you even having me on your platform. Really do. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, so that clip that I just showed, and I was mentioning backstage about, that's what made me, that's what made, that's what made you get my attention, so to speak. And so I wanted to know before we get into, your backstory, I wanted to know what was the psyche behind that particular movie because it had to come from somewhere personal. It seems like it wasn't just to me. It was just all about a fictional thing. To me, it just seemed like it projected. It was like it projected from somewhere.
Yeah. So I got a couple of people that I talk to like when I be going over like ideas or films and stuff like that. So one of my close friends, he had sent me an article about a female that was raped by her dentist.
Mm,
He was like, "Yo, love, this would be crazy." And I'm like, "Damn." I read the article and it definitely caught my attention because I'm like, "Dang, that's kind of different." But I didn't really want to kind of like go in too deep on her story, so I kind of like created my own story behind it and just make it more interesting, for the standpoint for the entertainment purpose. I didn't want to like basically shed like light on females being raped or anything like that, but it was like showing like basically how crazy this world is and how it could be like you don't know who you up against, type of thing.
yes, and I appreciate you. And I know I don't think there's anything wrong with having that, excuse me, sharing that type of awareness. I don't think you should. Oh, I don't think you should shift from that. That's just my opinion, because that is a realistic view of what goes on and how you have these medical professionals who are that will use that to their advantage and take advantage of someone like that. So make sure you check that movie out. I got the actual link in the description box, so please make sure you can check it out for yourself because we don't want to give you too many spoilers, so that way you understand where we're coming from there. All right, but thank you for sharing your backstory behind that particular piece. All right. So now, what I normally like to do is I like to start from the beginning, and I enjoy the stories that I hear because I like to hear about childhood memories. Because
Yeah.
it's nostalgic, first of all, and second of all, it kind of gives us a glimpse of what molded you into this being that you are now. It had to start from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So I like to go back into childhood, like where you were born and raised. Was it a two-parent household, one parent household, siblings, a bunch of cousins? Did you have more humbling beginnings, or did you have more well-to-do type of situations? Did you drink Kool-Aid out the jar, or had the palace on the floor, or maybe you came from a place where it was a gated community and you were, you had was written to school, or you had a little you had a little bouginess, and that's okay too. You
Yeah.
know.
I'm coming straight from the. I'm not gonna say. I wouldn't say because I know people that come from different. We all come from different places, but my mom raised me. Six of us. It was six of us, and
Really?
it was
Oh,
six of us,
wow.
and it was definitely different. Like we always lived in a house. We always lived in a house. So I never was like one of those kids like I was in the projects and all that. Nah, we lived in a house. We always had like a house over like a nice house. We always had a nice house, furniture. Everything was our upbringing was really good. My mom tried her best to keep everything put together. You know what I'm saying? I think when I was younger, I felt like I had this imagination that just I always wanted to create something. Like I even when I
Oh, okay.
yeah I used to play with toys
Yeah.
stuff like that. I used
Yeah,
to
you sound just like Omega Keys. Okay, there we go. Now we get. Now I see where you're going with that. That sounds just like Omega Keys. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but I had her on last week, and she said that it started right there with the toys, and
yeah.
as a child, like her creative just was flowing since then. So yeah.
That's how it was. Like I used to just make like my toys and just make them like their own little world. And I think that kind of like molded me into like creating stories and all that.
So like you said that you're among six, and where do you fall?
So I had an older sister. One of my brothers that passed away, which is the right after her, and then I had an older sister, and then it's me, and then I got two younger siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so even with you being among siblings, and you were had those creative juices flowing since then, were they your audience?
Uh I mean, we all like all my brothers and sisters. Like we all kind of got our own paths. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is kind of like in their own like separate ways. And I think that's probably because we all I don't know, it's like we grew up in the same household, but we none of us really have shared the same interest in anything, honestly.
Oh, okay. But I mean, but even if y'all didn't have your same interests, I mean, did y'all support each other in whatever interests y'all had, or any endeavors that you had? I mean, I'm sure there had to been some type of support at some point. No?
Um Honestly, I kind of like out of all my siblings, I think maybe like me getting into the film industry and just doing things in the entertainment type situation, I think I might probably broke through before everybody else. I don't think they all had like my sisters do, do hair and stuff like that. My brother,
Okay.
my brother that passed away, he kind of was like more like uh he, everybody just had like I said, I don't really see everybody had their own little paths. Like I don't really see it wasn't nothing like where it's like all right like they all had not saying they didn't have talent, but it wasn't like they didn't really was doing much of anything, if that makes sense.
Right. No, no, I hear you. I don't know if you're able to see the comments or not on your end. But I want to shout out Miss Stevie. Yeah, Miss Stevie. He said she said, hey, hi Faith, hey girl, happy Saturday, hi Daddy Love. And
How you doing?
she yeah, she calls my audience the faithfuls. That's what she calls my followers. That's the name that she domed the fans of mine, the few that they are. Yeah. But my pastor, so funny, like when I first um told him about my channel, and I put the name Faith is the Substance, he said the fits. And I said, oh, okay, that makes sense too. Faith is the substance, that acronym. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's another name that he gave as well. And
right.
so Miss Stevie, I don't look, you keep you keep asking about lip colors. I don't be knowing. I have to let you know later on. I don't be knowing the names. I'm sorry. Yeah, but okay, back to you, Daddy Love. I just have to make sure that I pay homage to Miss Stevie, because she, like I said, she's one of the inspiration behind why I do what I do as far as my interviews. So I
Right.
always want to make sure that I acknowledge her in the building. So yes, so those are some of the memories that you share. So can you, before we get more into your creative side, because I want to make sure I pin that one. Um, Give us some more of memories of some of the things that you carried on from inside your household to outside of your household. Like some of the things that you used to listen to? Like, did you dance in front of company as children? Did you like look forward to the toy inside the cereal box, or share share TV? Like, just give us some little memories.
I think growing up, I always was like, everybody say like I used to be like mad annoying, and just I had my own type
Oh
of
my goodness.
like annoyance of like to my older sisters and brothers. They always be like, yo, you get on my nerves, because I'm like a character, so I'm very like silly too. So like I think just me being a character in itself, it was like bring back like how I used to be growing up to like how I am now. So everybody would say like, yo, he's mad silly, he's like funny and all that. So I think I just always been that type of person, you know. So my childhood, I always playing around, playing pranks and messing with people, and just I guess it just followed me to where I'm at now.
Oh, okay. So you was a jokester, a
Jokester,
prankster.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so it drove people crazy sometimes because I know they was like, "Can you just turn that off? I mean, can you stop playing? You play too much."
Yeah,
That
that's what
sort of thing.
my mom, because like I said, she raised six of us and she worked every day. So we all used to be in the house watching each other. So like I used to be the one that get on their nerves the most. They used to call my mom all day, every day. He's getting on
Oh,
her nerves.
really?
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, wow. They used to do you like that, Daddy Love? Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Oh, so that's why you kind of, kind of set yourself around your creativity, and your dolls and your toys became, you
Yeah.
know, um, your company, the people, those that you interact the most with,
Yeah.
so that's why okay, so now it's starting to make sense now. That's what led up to you, okay, got you. Okay, now we getting somewhere. Now we get into some things.
Mhm.
Yeah, so so what was can you tell me and then we still on childhood now. Do you remember what is some of the first projects you created? Did you was it a play, or was it a story? Like, what was one of the first things that you actually done that you completed
But as a child, or you just
as a
saying?
child? Yeah, as a child at that time when you saying that you started being creative with the dolls, and like what were some of the things that you used to do
I used to
at
like
that time?
I learned how to use computers real soon, like at an early age. So I learned how to um I learned how to edit and mess with computers real young. Like I was really like a nerd type too. So I was always like messing with computers and stuff like that. So I kind of figured that I learned computers earlier than a lot of kids I grew up with.
Okay, no, I'm still here. I just that's why actually I was just putting on my fan. Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah. So okay, so now so with that with that keeps like those creative juices keeps brewing, like, and I know you're saying that you and your siblings had your own thing going on, and at that time, and I do understand that y'all had your own separate set of friends, your own social circle, and everything else going on. How about your elders in your family? Did they see it? Did they see the niche at
Yeah.
that time?
I don't know. Like I said, I feel like when I go back and talk to like my mom and stuff, like my uncle, I had found out I had an uncle like at like maybe 11 or 12. My mom found out she thought it was her cousin the whole time. They found out it was her brother.
Oh, oh
Um,
wow.
but he used to come down from New York. He used to have this big old camcorder. He used to have this big ass camcorder. When he used to walk around the
Yes,
house
on
with
the
it.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes.
He came down every time he came down, he always would bring it. And I always asking, can I, record with it? And like, let me show me how to work it. I want to use it and stuff like that. And I think that kind of got me like intrigued a little bit also. You know what I mean? I knew my mom wasn't buying me no cameras and like that. So I was just basically every time he came around with the camera and like parties or whatever going on, I'd be the one holding the camera trying to record stuff.
Oh, okay, and I think that is so cool. So now I mean, of all the things that you could have came up with, say, to do as far as creative wise, why that in particular? What was it about? You created stories. Where did that come from? Where did that interest come from? Because people have their own lane. So why that lane in particular? If you could, even if you even knew at the time.
I mean, I didn't know. I think
Yeah.
I just kind of just stumbled on it, and it kind of like it just turned great for me. I honestly didn't like, oh, I'm gonna be a film director, because honestly, when I talk to people now, it's mind blowing. Because I'd be like, I don't even be knowing half of the movies that people watch. I'm not a crazy movie like person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why
Hmm.
I'm not. I really don't watch movies and stuff like that. and that's why it's kind of like different for me to have like the love of filmmaking is different because I don't really watch movies. I really don't watch them at all, honestly.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I'm gonna get more into that. Like, how does one who really doesn't, like, watch it, but that they understand how to move about it. But I'm gonna get more into that. But what I really want to know is what you mentioned about, you just had this, this knack for it. It had to come, okay, like, was there certain TV shows you like to watch, or was there inspiration there? Any particular actors or even authors like Dr. Seuss? It could be anybody, you know.
Nah, honestly, it really wasn't. I honestly, when I was growing up, from the ages where I was able to like, my mom just let us outside running around. I never really even, I wasn't a house kid, So I grew up to create outside. Like, so me and my friends, like particular one of my houses I grew up in, we used to make clubhouses, and I used to swear the house was like my like that's what I was into stuff like that. So I was always
Mhm.
creative, but I always use it in the point of where I'm not inside the house, like I'm outside creating and doing things and just navigating through life like that. I think that's probably because a lot of people I didn't even really watch cartoons. I'm really not a big TV person.
Right, because you was outside. You know what? And I'm glad. Okay, this is a good segue, real quick, because I want you to give your perspective on this because how you said that you didn't watch TV as much because you was outside or you was preoccupied, doing different projects, in front of your the toys in front of your dolls and stuff, right? And so I compare that to how nowadays where, children sit with their iPads or phones all day and don't really get that experience as much when we used to be outside playing hopscotch, double dutch, or being out to the street lights came on. And not many children, I'm not saying that they don't now, but not many experience that. So can you give your perspective on, how it may be a detriment, you
I
being,
think
outside versus, kids on their iPhones and not really get to experiencing life and touching grass.
I think now because I feel like a lot of parents kind of use that as a escape route for their kids.
Yes,
So I think
yes.
that's something that they can just get their kids, leave them hell alone, put them in a head, take this iPad, and it's like I mean, it is a gift and a curse, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of kids are losing their childhoods because they're watching other kids experience childhood when they can actually be doing it. So I kind of figured like I feel like a lot of these parents just they use that iPad thing for a escape route. Like here, take this and get out of my face, and they don't want
Yes.
to out because So I think that's what it is, and it's
You
and
know,
different time now too. Like I said, I was like I have a younger daughter. She's 6. Back when me and my sister, we were 6, 7 years old outside, like literally going to like the park by ourselves. My mom was
yes.
park, go ahead, play in the park and make sure I'll come back on the street, whatever. I wouldn't even dare do that with my daughter now. So
No.
it's like
Mm-mm.
times has changed. It's like people are not trustworthy. It's like it's a lot of different things that you have to take in measures now than how we were growing up before. So it's kind of
Yes.
having the kids in the house on the iPad is sometimes it's not a bad thing, but then it's like, all right, these kids need to go outside sometimes.
Yes. It has to be a moderation because I do agree sometimes because, and just, you while you was talking, it kind of bring me back to, when my son was he's an adult now, but when he was younger, I put him in front of the TV because I'm like, I need to get just a little bit more sleep, just a little bit more sleep. So just watch these cartoons for me. But I would have to take him outside. He was hyperactive, diagnosed with ADHD. So he needed to go to the park, and I wanted to make sure that he had that experience as well. Take him outside. But there were times, like I said, some parents you just get, you do get annoyed sometimes. So I do understand both sides of things, but you have to have a balance. There has to be a balance there. You
Absolutely.
know, yeah, you can't fully rely on the iPad or the TV to occupy your child's stimuli. It has to be a balance there. So thank you for sharing your perspective on that. So now let me ask you, before we get into the elementary, junior high school phase, I want to go a little bit. I want to kind of wrap up the childhood thing because I want to know. Oh, by the way, were you born and raised? Where were you born and raised? I forgot to ask.
I'm from Red Bank, New Jersey.
Are you from? Oh, okay, you're from up north. Okay. Yeah, I'm from New York, so we're kind of neighbors. So
Uh,
yeah, you said what part of Jersey?
so Red Bank is considered like it's like in the middle. So I'm like maybe like 20 minutes from the beach. Like we right by the shore. So like Red Bank
Sure.
is like
Okay.
by Jersey Shore. So I'm grew up in the shore, by the shore.
By the shore. Okay. And so, can you briefly tell me about some of the were they were a two-parent household? I don't think I established that.
No, so like I said, my mother raised us. My father was around, like sprinkly around. He comes around sometimes, sometimes he doesn't, and sometimes I hear from him like months out, months times I don't. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, my mom raised me. I've lived in that house with my mom since I was 17, 18 years old.
Okay, got you. And so, now what are some of the key takeaways that you know, probably gotten from your mom, you know, as you know, transitioned into adulthood? Do you remember?
I got like I got I think that's where I learned like ambition. Like I knew my mom was straight grind. Like her grind is like I never seen my mom where she like if she I never seen her like down and out where it's like even when she was
Mm,
sick, she still went to work. My mom working, she had work. Like that was so that kind of embedded into me where I gotta go get it too. Like nobody gonna give you nothing, so don't complain, don't ask for nothing. Go to work and get it. Like that's the only way. If you gonna work, you got to do something. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that's what I watched my mom do. You know,
yeah, wonderful. And so, and I'm glad that, you know, shout out to your mom for being the example, you know. She led by example. So I'm glad that she was an example of how you able to move now. Okay, so thank you for sharing your some of your childhood backstory. And so now I want to get more into the elementary and junior high school, you know, because that's a phase that I enjoy to hear about because we don't talk about it, you know. We
yeah,
don't really, you know, when we talk about, you know, school days, we start from high school and college, but we don't realize how pivotal elementary, junior high school is when it comes to um, just self discovery. You know, acne, you're kind of discovering your anatomy, you're humping in the staircase, you're building up your social skills, and all those things happen in elementary and junior high school. You just testosterone strong, you know, so those type of things. And so when you think that you're not old enough to understand certain things, we do.
yeah.
So I just want to get your take on if you can remember your elementary and junior high school days, and you know, were you popular? Were you shy? You know, how were your how was your grades, and did you interact well with other children, or did you have certain struggles? Like, can you give a little bit of your take
I
on
think
that time?
yeah, elementary. I'm always like a kid that I could I'm always in the inner crowd. I always the inner crowd kid child. I always had friends. I always had people that want to be around me. Um, I was like out in school. Like I said, I always like how I act at home. I act at school. So I was like a class clown even
Last
more.
clown, yes.
Yeah, I was always trying to make people laugh, get in trouble. My grades wasn't so well. You know what I mean? I was kind of like one of those kids. I took school as like a playground. Like when I went to school, I couldn't wait because it was gonna be fun. They show my ass, and that kind of got me like where you know a lot of people like my teachers and stuff like that probably used to look like, yo, this kid's gonna be a failure or whatever the case might be because I didn't take school serious at all. Honestly, I think my last year of high school, my last 2 years of high school, I only went to school like one day a week. I had got into co-op or some shit like where you
Oh yeah, yeah.
work
Hmm.
work through to like 40 other week and go to school, and I end up going to school only on a Friday. Literally a whole 2 years of not even. I'm talking about. I can't believe to this day like that I didn't go to school like just to go to work and just make sure I had I kept up with the like the tests and stuff like that, and I graduated high school. So I didn't really take it serious at all, honestly, not even a little bit.
So going back, so we gonna get to high school too. So yeah, a bookmark that one. But so when you go back to the elementary and junior high school, you did you take it seriously then or no? You know, so
I ain't
and
say
why not?
because I think because I just felt like school was just something where I played like a lot and it was just something that I just did like where I just it was so many friends just like that. It's just crazy. Hey, how you doing?
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. You on set?
No, my daughter do lashes and she had a client.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I will also want to take the time to shout out your Facebook friends. You know, so I'm glad you was able to stream on your end as well. So shout out to your Facebook followers as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you for being here. Yeah. All right. So, guy, I'm sorry. You was saying.
Oh yeah, so
You
like
was-
with the school, like I said, I just didn't find it. I just took school as just like a whole place to get away from home and just have fun. Girl like had crushes on certain girls and want to just finding myself for it like mingling and meeting people and just just having love in life like at a young age. I think that's what was made it fun, just going to school. That's all I seen it as.
Okay, so but I mean, but like again, and you know what's is there another name I could call you, or you just Daddy Love?
You can call me Love. I
Love.
think
Okay.
everybody call me Love. So Daddy Love. So basically, Daddy Love is just basically once I had my first daughter, it just kind of stemmed from like everybody was like being like one of my good friends was like, "Oh, Daddy Love," like after I had my daughter. So
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
everybody used to just call me Love, like, "Hey, Love, what's Love, Love," whatever, like that. But once I had my daughter, they just like, "Oh," I was the first one out of all my friends had my daughter. My daughter might be 20 next week, so I was like,
oh, okay.
now. So they just be like funny, like, "Oh, Daddy Love, here go Daddy Love." So I just liked it. It was different. It rolled off the tongue a little different. It kind of gave like a different type of
And it's a good stage name. It's good. It's a good, a professional name.
yeah.
But
So
but you know what? I be thinking. I was thinking when I first saw that, when I first saw your credentials,
yeah.
and I was like, I wonder. I always wanted to ask you, do you get any comparisons to a certain bad boy producer?
Oh yeah, nah. It's crazy. It just because now Diddy started. They just started bringing out like his name as like. But I think they've been calling me Daddy Love since 2000, and my daughter was born 2005. So it's not like a name that came like 2-3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I got it tatted on me since I got my first tattoo in 2007. So I had this name since like 2005, over 20 years. So I
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
he was calling himself. I think he's called himself Diddy Love or something like that. Daddy Love is like a unique.
Yeah, I was just curious. Did they ever make that comparison? Because he used to call the studio Daddy's house. So
Yeah,
those type of things. So that's when because I think about those things running through my mind when I first saw your name, and I was always curious about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get it sometimes now because now of the stigma that he got behind
Yes.
his name.
Hmm.
I don't really take offense of it. I don't be minding. I don't be like I'm in my own world. I don't bother.
Right, because your own individual has, because whatever you got going on got nothing to do with that. So,
Yeah,
hey,
I just,
but people are gonna, they're gonna say what they're gonna say. They're gonna, you know how their mindsets are, So,
I get it.
yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah,
All right. So now, so love, so now when you talk about, so we still on, elementary, junior high, and we'll get off that real quick, but and you saying that you had your crushes on girls, and you kind of got in the fit in, like you fit in wherever you could.
yeah,
Um, and so how and I was going to say also when I was about to say about the creatives, most creatives, don't really, they don't like the structure environment when it comes to schooling because, the creative minds just be flowing. And so they operate in a different way. The right side of their brain just operates differently. So when it comes to school, a lot of times, a lot of creatives are not really into the structurized environment. It's the same way as the 9 to 5. Like a lot of creatives, they're not really um fans of the 9 to 5 because of that as well, because they just have a different type of, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
different type of makeup,
yeah,
so to speak.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really don't. I guess with me, like like my creative side, it's wild to me because I'm telling you, for me to stumble in this and I started to really fall in love with it. I never was like in no study like school, like no clubs of film or nothing. Like I just picked it up, learned how to do it, and just trying to master it. It wasn't something that some people have that gift where they like, yo, I was this is what I've been doing since I was young. This is not that. I think I'm just a creative person. I could be doing anything. I think I would have been doing anything. It could have been anything creative. I think I'd have been in any industry, honestly.
Okay. So so you mentioned that as far as industry. Now, if you weren't in the film industry, what occupation would you have right now? What type of job would you think you have?
I'd definitely be doing something for myself. I've always been an entrepreneur. I worked before, but like I never really like taking. I'm a Leo. I'm really like a hard. Like I don't really like taking orders from no one. So I kind of had jobs that really wasn't working out for me. So I always been on an entrepreneur like journey. So I used to be a music producer. I used to make beats.
Mm,
I used to have my own studio. I did everything to try to like make it make sense. And try to stay afloat and stay out the out the way where it would end me up in jail or in those type of situations.
yeah. So you always made sure you had an outlet. You always made sure that you occupied your time in other places where you it wouldn't lead down to the wrong path. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing to be proactive. And so, what was your social circle like? You know, like did you have? I'm going back to support system because that's very important. So I bring that up a lot about support. And you know, as you gotten older and as you go into this phase in your life and you continue your craft, you know, what was it like the support system around you as far as your social circle? You know,
Like as in friends or family.
friends, yeah, mostly friends. You know, especially like in
What
school and in the neighborhood.
I had, like I said, I always had like I always was a person that had like whoever I was cool with and friends with, I always consider like my friends. They always like good. I never had like bad friends, like where like, oh, these people are bad. I'm around bad people. I always had people that genuinely was my friends, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I think it just basically just how the surroundings or whatever surrounding I was in, because I grew up in Red Bank, but like I said, I grew up in Red Bank at a young age, and I moved to another town called Neptune. That's really where I really like got to like to
That's a
flirt.
city. Oh, it's a city in New Jersey, Neptune.
Yeah, it's another city in Neptune, in New Jersey called Neptune. It's like by, I don't know if you heard of Asbury Park before.
Yes.
So it's literally like the out, it's like literally right next door, literally. So
Oh, okay.
another town
Yeah.
at Asbury Park, yeah.
Oh, right. All right. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. I didn't even know. You know, so I think about Neptune, of course, the planet and the group. So yeah, you know. Uh, so so now we're gonna kind of shift into what high school did you go to?
So I went to Neptune High School.
Neptune. Oh, okay. Neptune High School. And so, and you said that you know at some point you know kind of shifted from school, but in the beginning, like, can you give me your experience in the beginning, like the first couple of years that you did attend school, and what I want, because I'm okay, because I want to establish a timeline here because I want to know what your experience was like at that time, your social circle, your and what led up to, in your own words, what led up to shifting from, you know, you not really going to school as much and just focusing on the job aspect. Like, can you just kind of give us a little bit more of a lead up and what led up to?
I think when I, because like when I came from Red Bank, it was like our town was small. Like it was like I knew everybody. Like it was small where you can like I could name down everybody in the school, you know, right? But then when I moved to Neptune, it was like a different world. Like literally, like the class was like 300, 400 students each grade. So it's like massive kids. Like, so it was like the fit in was way, like I fit in when I was in Red Bank. Like I was like, it wasn't that many people. So it was like, all right, I know you, you know. Out there it was hard to fit in because there's so many people and it's like
Right.
so much going on. It's like, you know, so that was kind of like hard, like adjusting to that because I wasn't used to so many people, so many people at one time in a grade, like, you know what I mean? So it was a little different. But then once I kind of started, I'm a figure it out. I'm like one of those figured out people. Like you put me anywhere, I'm going to definitely make sense. I'm going to fit in. I'm going to make myself be the person that need to be where I need to be. You know, I'm not a person to be like a loner or people like, oh, who's this kid? Like I'm definitely going to be one of the persons that's going to be
You're gonna make yourself known.
for sure 100%.
Okay. And so when you entered into the co-op program, you started shifting from high school. Where did you work at that time?
My first job, like I said, my mom used to work, like my mom was a supervisor at this grocery store called Stop and Shop.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes.
And that was like my first job. I got my first job there, and I worked there during, like I said, during like my high school years, and then once like high school was over, I had my first child. My first child was at 17, so that's when I really like, oh, this is about to get real, you know. So I had like little small. I used to do like these little things. It was like, I don't even remember, like it was like these things called Nextels where you could put the ringtones on people's phones. I kind of
Mm-hmm. Oh
mastered
wow, you really okay. You really give me some nostalgia. Okay, go ahead.
my neighborhood. No one was doing that, so I kind of mastered that, and I was making so much money and just doing that, like out my mom house and all right, out my mom house and just making money, like, and I was like, I don't need to work. Like I'm making so much money. People want to do ringtones, and then I started to like transition into learn how to do music. Because when you cut up ringtones, you got to know how to like
Yes.
edit it to a certain size. So I started learning that. Then I started learning how to make beats because I learned how to do tempo of the music to cut it up for the ringtone. So I kind of transitioned to making beats and stuff like that. And then when we making beats, I learned how to start making music videos because people wanted to rap on the beats I made. So that's kind of
Mm,
me into shooting videos. And then I started the liking of the camera and then learning the camera, shooting videos. And then it's like, all right, now I'm about to start
your
shooting.
transition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but real quick before we get more into the filmmaking part, because I know, and thank you for the segue, by the way. Because I know we're getting into the filmmaking aspect. But before we get to that, you being a teen dad, I want to touch on that because not many, I haven't heard. I think you're the first person that I interviewed with so far that mentioned about being a teen dad. Because I had a couple of teen moms, that of your peers that I spoke to, and so I wanted to kind of get to know more, get into a little bit more into that, because I want to hear more of the men. I want to hear more of the men about being a teen dad and having to step up and having to, kind of learn certain things that most adults have to, most adults have to inquire. So can you give us a little bit on, the story behind, was it a high school sweetheart or someone that you knew from the block, or and just kind of give a little bit of backstory when as a teen dad.
I was like when I was younger, like I said, everybody used to call me Love, and I was like I don't know, I was like a lover boy, so I had multiple different females. I was just young, just figuring out, running the streets, just messing around or whatever. 1 second.
Yes. So, Daddy Love, he had to step away real quick, had to handle some business, but he was just giving us,
I'm sorry.
he was just about to give us. That's okay. I wanted to just kind of, for those, pause it, for those who are not aware, I just wanted to kind of let them know what you was talking about, and it was getting more into the, the teen dad phase.
Yeah, so when I was like I said, I was younger, I used to just like I said, I was like dealing like I didn't take a relationship. I used to have multiple different girlfriends and all that stuff. So I ended up finding this one female that me and her kind of like clicked. I was like, dang, she's a little different, whatever. And then we just happened to just I don't know, we just got along and it was different than the other female I would meet and deal with or whatever. And that's the one I had my first child with. It was definitely like not a planned situation, but it hit me fast. Like I said, I didn't even graduate high school yet. So I was about to have my first child. I'm like, wow, this is scary. My mom, I don't know how my mom is going to look at it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right.
me like
And
nervous because like I know like my brother, he had kids at a young age, and I just seen how his path went for having children at a young age. It was a lot on him, you know. So I was like scared a little bit, like damn. All I thought about was child support. I thought that was like all the like
yes,
like, man,
yes.
I thought it was like a mandatory thing. Like you have a child, you going on child support. Like, you know what I'm saying? So me and her had a good relationship. I didn't have to go through all those situations that a lot of people go through, you know. I had my first daughter and it just kind of like it gave me some purpose, you know, to where now I started to really like, all right, I need to find a way to really be great for her, you know, and have build a family to basically want more because I just knew how my father wasn't around when I was a young, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me just try to find this a better way that I actually was consumed to, you know. So that would make me like a better father, you know, being young. Like I'm in her life, watching, doing every step that whatever the process. 'Cause I didn't know, you know, like being a parent at a young age, you don't really know no better. Like you don't know really know.
Right. But
Who-
did you okay, but going back what you said your brother when you had, when you said that he, had, took that path. So did you learn from that experience to, to kind of
Yes,
be more
man, so
cautious about it? Yeah.
yes, well, see, one of my biggest fears, my brother had two baby moms at a young age. So I just seen the stuff that he used to go through. He used to go through child support. He used to get arrested a lot. That was one thing I
Oh,
didn't understand.
yeah, yeah.
He had like an issue, like where the baby moms used to always beef, and like sometimes he can't see his kid because he was one child and the other child. It just was a headache, and that was one of my biggest fears. Like I don't never want to have multiple women pregnant or multiple baby moms. That was like one of my biggest things to myself. Like I would never do that because I just can't. I just know being in a household where your children are is different than just having a child somewhere else and you don't really know what's going on in that household. So I'd rather know what's going on with my children than basically having someone else raise my kids, you know?
Right. So now, and I want to challenge you real quick, before we move on, Daddy Love. I want to, for those um young men and young women who aspire to be whoever they're going to want to be in life. They're still in high school. They're still trying to figure some things out. And so, based on what you shared with us, from the self discovery from junior high, elementary, junior high, and then high school, becoming a teen dad, can you real quickly pour into those individuals? What would you say to them in front of those young men and young women who aspire to be who they're going to be, and the lessons that you learned and the choice that you made?
I
What would
just
you say to them?
I just feel like as a young like to the young kids that's out there right now, I would just say basically just be you. You know, at the end of the day, like I think that's where a lot of people fail in life is trying to be someone that they're not, you know. Just find who you are and then and just stick to it. You know what I mean? You'll find your true you by just staying true to yourself, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where a lot of people fail, trying to just be someone else that they're not, you know. And I would just tell the children out there just, you know, just stay focused and stay out the way of things that don't really have nothing to do with you, you know. And that's the best way I can really explain it to them.
Okay, and I thank you for that, because I think a lot of times, we don't understand how important it is for us to pour into, especially now. I mean, it's really it's hard out there. I'm sure you know it is so it's like they say back in the day, it was real out there. So I mean, it truly is. So
Yeah.
if we sure need it now more than ever. So that's why I always challenge some people that come on to just pour into our youth. So that's very important. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
So now, as far as I know, we was getting into the production side of music and filmmaking, but when did you go to college? Did you go right after high school? Or you went later on?
No, I went to college literally. So during COVID, I went to college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just finished college last year. I just graduated my bachelor in film science.
Right. And so, well, first of all, congratulations on that. I mean, it's not easy, especially when you're an adult continuing your education. So that is amazing. So congrats on that. And so, what made you decide to go on that journey at that time? What made you decide on that?
Um, Me graduating, just you know, I mean, not even me graduating. I mean, me going to school. I think around COVID, it wasn't really much to do. So I kind of basically was like, I need something to like push me to a next level. I'm like one of those person like I need to be pushed to another level where I feel like I start getting stagnated. Whereas like I don't really feel like the things I'm doing is not really, you know, entertaining anymore or whatever. So I signed up for college 2021 and it was different, you know, cuz like I told you, I took school. I wasn't
Mhm.
so for me to even say put it in my mind like I'm gonna sign up for school was kind of like a big push, you know. And I was like, let me just try it. Like, you know, what can be the worst to do it? Like, you know. So I tried it and it was dope. You know, I learned a lot. And like I said, I was already into the film industry already. So me going to school, I learned more also some things that I didn't know about and just meeting networking and meeting new people and just the industry learning more that I didn't know, you know. So it was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. And what school is that? What school did you
I
go?
I went to Los Angeles Film School.
Los Angeles Film School. And so now I'm going to go back to that, but but you already started, of course you already started your craft before that. So can you give a quick comparison between you starting your journey into your career? Can you tell what's the difference between doing it right off the cuff, like as far as the filmmaking, music production, starting off the cuff, or and can you compare it to doing it after school, like getting like the structured classroom type of lessons and experiences? Can you compare the two?
I think it's definitely different because, like, if you come in, if you leave in high school, going straight into college, you probably have more motivation. You probably just because you're already in school, you just already on the journey of school. So it's definitely. But then I've been out of school when I just started school, probably already 10 years, 15 years. So it's like this is a whole new schedule thing. I'm not a big schedule person. I follow my own schedule. So to create a schedule to basically be on time on something and be having work to do and making sure you get it done and all that stuff, it changed me a lot, you know. So it's definitely two different worlds of ways of going about it for sure.
Yeah. So now, because I know a lot of times when, depending on the industry or occupation that you go into, they feel like school is not a necessity or educate, and I think that it could go both ways. And this is kind of a touchy topic, and I think that we should have a panel discussion about that. By the way, because some people feel like you could gain more experience, hands-on knowledge versus you going to actual school and sitting in the classroom and not being able to get hands-on experience on. But like I said, it also depends on what you're getting into because I'm not going to, and I know you can attest to this. I'm not going to see a doctor. I'm not going to be going to a doctor who hasn't had his degree or
Yeah.
into a classroom. So I think there's a difference there. So my point is that as far as your industry in particular, like would it make a difference? Or would you encourage others to go to school for this, or to just,
I feel like
just learn about it head on, like
I
hands
feel like
on?
I feel like I would do both because it's two different worlds. So it's like, you know, to go in this industry, right? To be a filmmaker, some people would not even let you on a set to even take you serious, like because this is a serious business. So it's like some people would not even let you into this. This is like a secret society almost. So some people won't even let you in.
Yes, I like
So
that analogy.
yeah,
Yeah.
so some people won't even let you in. So it's like you can it might even take you longer. Like what I mean, it might even take you longer trying to like get into a room where you even somebody feels like they won't even share the knowledge with you when you can just go to school and get the knowledge and then create your own rooms. And also like I feel like networking is there in school. You meeting people that has the same like-minded, and y'all gonna have the same interests. When you go to deal with people on the street, some people might not even like some people might even be in it for what you're in it for. Some people might just want money, and the interest is way different than how you view it, and then y'all might not even click. So I feel like having school background and having the streets where you can kind of learn
Yes.
is definitely try to do both and balance it if you can. Because some people, like I said, I know people that's trying to do it, let's draw off the arm, trying to just get into these rooms, but it's harder. When you get in these schools, these schools have avenues to basically open up for us, these students, to where some people out there ain't gonna let you in. So
That is true, and also when you take certain courses at school, you learn like the business aspect, versus just the creative aspect. You learn certain things to look out for when it comes to financing, when it comes to a lot of different avenues that you can go more into when you have the school the educational aspect of it as well. So you have the best of both worlds, though, Daddy Love. That's the advantage that you have because you got the experience first, you inquired about it first, you have that drive to kind of go into that lane, and then you went to school after. So I commend you for that aspect of it.
thank
But
you.
let me go back real quick. You're welcome. Um, Let me go back real quick when you started. What made you get into music? I know you talked about the Nextel. I know you was talking about the ringtones and how that. But how did it? Can you give me more of a lead up as to how it led up to you doing music production and you said you directed videos too. Did you
Yeah, so
do that?
I think I was basically as on a grind, and I figured out something that can make money. So it started making money, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I always like the music. So I figured that hey, why not? This is something that makes money. So what I mean, I'm about to just tap into it and see where it goes. So that's where kind of that's how that kind of went.
Okay, and so do you still do music? Do you still do it from time to time?
So now I'm just basically doing music now, but it's like they got this new AI stuff where you can like create music where on a whole nother level and still have type of creativity to it. And I'm tapping into that lane now.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm still doing not still doing music like I used to do it, but I'm learning how to do music so I can just score my own movies with it, the songs and stuff that I create
Yes.
new own music for. You
Oh,
know.
that's a good idea too. And so now can you get more into how you became this filmmaker? How did it start for you? Can you give us the cliff notes of how it started with you? Just I know you from the camera, from your learning from the how to use the camera from the uncle and the music production, and then you went into filming videos, and then you went into did you do you write scripts? Do you write your scripts as well?
The movie Blood Ties, I written that. That's my movie. I written that. What happened was like I said, I started so like in 2000 early 2010 15, like around that time I started doing like I opened my own studio, so I started doing weddings. I started taking pictures,
Oh,
I
okay.
started doing photography, and I started taking pictures, and I became like I learned it. mastered it, and I opened up a studio, and then I just started. People started hiring me to do their weddings. It was just like, all right, if you could do, not saying you can't, but like I started doing professionally photography and videography, and I was getting hired like crazy. So that really was like, I learned that, and then it was like on. So once I started doing film, like people, I used to be filming people weddings, and they would pay me a lot of money, and I'm like, oh, I must be good, you know. So that kind of like sparked me, like, all right, boom, I'm doing movies. I'm not moving. I'm doing wedding videos and photography, and then I had got married in 2017, and then
Oh,
I had wrote this script, not really a script. I had a vision of this show called Cold Summer. I don't know if you ever did your background on that's one of my biggest series. I did a show called Cold Summer, and I had got married in August, and I had did a casting call like September, like, and I just hit the ground running. Like October, I'm already starting to film, and I started filming this series. It did the first episode did something crazy on YouTube. It went viral. Everybody was talking about it, and it just did something to me. So I just started just shooting episodes every week, just doing episodes, and I ended up winning like best director at the Urban Film Festival. I won best visual.
wow.
It was just crazy. So that really was like, all right, you really doing your thing. People like what you're doing. So I end up just started doing it more. And like I started people started reaching out, hey, I want you to film a movie for me or whatever the case might be. And I started reaching out, meeting people from different parts of this United States that wanted me to film movies and stuff like that. So it was just on from there. And then I just started filming movies. So my Cold Summer was like my first initial project that really put me on the map to like basically showcase my work. And it went crazy.
Wow, and I think that's amazing. And so when you tap into that, so because I know like when you start to like level up in that way, like because I always been curious about this, like how would you compare marketing your work, at that time because we didn't like you didn't have as much access to social media and
At what, at which
which
time?
is the time that you started out,
I
like the
mean, like
time
I started doing like so like social media. I started doing like I
it
said,
wasn't as, I don't it wasn't as popping, I should say. So I just want to know like what are some of your marketing tools that you use, like marketing strategies,
I really
because mm,
I really didn't honestly like and I think that might have been like where I got blessed at because I think my work speak for itself. That I honestly not even gonna lie, I never really did too much of a marketing of anything. I honestly just I'm one of those people that just I plant a seed and just let it grow and see what happens. I'm not a person. I didn't really do too much of paying or giving somebody money for marketing billboard or none of that. I just did something great. People found it, watched it, and they spread the word. And I think that's what made me be who I am because I really do too much marketing. Like I just literally just put my stuff on a platform. Hey, watch this, and people liked it, and then it just went how it went.
okay, so and because I think that's usually what I mean, you kind of cover what I meant, as far as word of mouth goes, because that's
Yeah,
marketing strategy at that time. Because like I said before, social media was really popping. Because nowadays you can't really do any type of marketing on brands without social media. There's no way around it. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, that there's no way around it now. But I just wanted to kind of give you, wanted you to give me a brief comparison to how you pushed your work then versus now when you're able to have more of a mass audience, mass appeal,
I
you
mean,
know.
I do the same way. Like honestly, the movie Blood Ties, I did the same thing. I literally put it out and just posted it, and people liked it. People shared it, and it just did really well. I think I want to start looking into marketing because I think I probably be even more crazier. But
Hmm.
honestly, I think word of mouth got me where I'm at today.
Yeah, but I think that you should consider that as well because I think that you need to have is that the one with having a strong backing behind you. You got to have, especially as an independent artist. You have to have something behind you, a machine behind you, so to speak. I
Yeah.
mean, like, well, Tubi is a machine. And I'm always wanted to know too. How do you get your work on Tubi?
So on Tubi, you have to find a distributor. So you
Okay.
have to it's basically finding somebody that's going to basically communicate to these networks for you because they're not going to talk to the filmmakers at all. So if you don't have like the person that's already connected with them in some type of way of a situation, then it's like I don't know no other way. You can't. They're not even going to respond to you. So you have to find a person that's going to be the middleman to your project, and then it gets it on TV or whatever platform, Tubi, Amazon, Peacock, Roku.
Hmm.
So you just need someone to speak for you. Yeah.
And who is that? Who is that for you? And how does one acquire about a distributor?
I tell you like this: make sure whoever you require about, just make sure you do some research first. Because I had a distributor that wasn't a great distributor, and like I said, it's a middleman. So basically, you're basically having someone take your project
Promoter.
and take you putting your trust in them, that everything comes out good. So it's always, I mean, if you can do it yourself and you can pull it off, hey, salute to you. But just hopefully, like, trying to get a distributor or whatever, just try to learn that person first before you even go about trying to get it on TV and trying to make money, because these people is not 100% honest, I'll tell you that. And I've been through
Gotcha.
all types of loops and stages with different distributors, and yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so just learned from what Daddy Love is saying is that if you want to get into this type of field, just make sure you have the right team, with you. So, you have to do like you said, research, make sure that they trustworthy enough, because a lot of times you can't even, determine trust factor until they give you a reason not to trust them. So
Yeah,
once you,
and
yeah.
that's not even trust factor. Honestly, the biggest thing you want to have is you just want to have a lawyer. Have a lawyer 100%
Mm,
at any deal you
gotta
make.
trust them too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in your best interest, and then just basically that'll be your best chance. That'd be your best thing. Is having someone that's going to back you and have your best interest in the deal. That's basically what it is, honestly.
And so during the time, like I always wanted to know also, because in this industry, unfortunately, it's like, you know, you're up one minute, then you're down the next. And during your downtime, like, did you have regular jobs in between?
I don't,
To
I don't, I don't have downtime.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm always working. I don't down. I don't. I think that I don't celebrate until I win. So I don't really have downtime. I'm literally on the road to riches. So my
Gotcha.
downtime is literally only with my children and my family, and then it's just film. It's like that's life. So I don't really have too much down. I don't work for anyone. I work for myself. I've been
But
like
what I'm
this.
saying, what I mean, Daddy Love, I mean, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about your work ethic as far as that goes, but I'm talking about financial wise. A lot of times it's not always just like you went to school, like during COVID, that was a time where it was very challenging to a lot of creatives. So,
It's like,
what is,
see what I'm saying. So like for instance, like even that situation, like I didn't go get a 9 to 5. I figured it out. So I'm just like like I said before, I'm not a person of taking orders. So it's really, I kind of explain this word without saying what I'm trying to say, as much as humble as possible, that I'm just going to just figure it out. I'm not really,
right.
I'm
Mhm.
not trying to like knock anybody that's working 9 to 5s or nothing like that. I'm just going to be the person that's going to try to find an outlet any other way to figure out my own talent to make it make sense for me. So even at the COVID point, I kind of lucked up because my talent that I have with the cameras, and I kind of just basically figured it out in a different area. So I still was doing weddings, and I still was staying afloat, because a lot of places, people couldn't go outside, and people were still getting married, people getting backyard weddings and whatever. So I still needed. So I was just lucked up in that situation, but I just try to find the best way to keep me afloat, and where I can still do what I want to do at any point in time. That if I wake up tomorrow and say I don't want to do shit tomorrow, that's how I want to live my life. I don't want to be at the like, oh, I got to
Yes.
clock in, I got to do this, and I don't really. It stresses me.
Yeah, and I love that for you, and I'm so and I commend you for that. Just to, and I think that I think a lot of people need to aspire to that, to understand that you're gonna get as much of the grind that you can, so you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, or how you're going to be able to do this. You want to be able to work hard enough to where you have the flexibility to
Yeah,
do whatever it is to have that work life balance. So let me, and that's kind of a segue as well. Like as far as your work life balance, and you mentioned about you getting married, and now about that, I wanted to know, like, based off what you mentioned about when you were younger and how you were dating, you didn't think to settle down. So what made you know this person the one? Like what made this person be the one to kind of get you together?
um, different female, different morals and things, the way she carries herself. So I figured, and we had children, and like I said, how I grew up, I always told myself that I'm not just having kids with anybody.
Mhm.
right? So I figured that if I'm gonna have children with someone, it's most likely gonna be a female that's gonna be my wife, and the worst I'm gonna be with forever. You know what I mean? So I don't really see it to be like, oh, I'm just gonna have kids with her and it's my baby mom and I'm on to the next. Nah. So I always see whoever I'm having my children with is gonna be the person that I'm gonna be with also, you know. So
And so now, how what are some of the things that you learned as a parent, when it's the time that you had, your oldest is your daughter or is your son is the oldest?
I
Like,
got my oldest is my daughter. I have three daughters and one son.
oh,
Son is the baby.
okay. Oh, okay. So, what did you learn with your oldest daughter, versus now as a parent now after being, as a husband and as a father? Like, what are some of the key things that you learned that you would do things differently?
Time, you know, I try to balance that as much as possible because time, like I said, I don't follow clocks as much, so time really never on my side. So I try to make sure I'm there for families to try to make sure that I give my family much time also. So like having one child at the time is like easy to balance. Now I got four kids, so it's like everybody wants time and wants to do. So it's the balance that also in the same industry that I'm in, it's sometimes that I might be filming for 10, 15 days, or I might be out of state filming, whatever the case might be. So my time it is varies. So it's trying to balance that is the hardest thing, you know.
So how do you balance it? I mean, I know it's challenging, but how do you balance it? Like, what are some what are some of your techniques or your approach towards that?
So basically I just try to like if I ain't doing nothing, I make sure all my time goes to my family. So that's really how I work it too. So like for instance, like now it's like I'm in pre-production of my new film. So I don't really need to do much like during the weekdays. So I make sure I have time to do stuff with certain things with my children, like to the park and whatever they want to do, you know, because I know it might be some times where I might be going for a couple of days also. So I try to just make sure that all my free time that I do have to give it to them, you know.
Okay, and I love that for you as well. Then I think it is, wonderful to see family men. We don't see many of those nowadays, so I think that's wonderful. Yes. So, now you mentioned about, upcoming projects. Can you give us a little taste of that?
Yeah, so I'm working on a new movie. I'm creating it. So I kind of liked it. Like Blood Ties was like my. I created a psychological thriller before. It was called The Past 3 Years, which is on Tubi. You can check it out.
Hmm.
It's a little different. It's pretty dope. But Blood Ties was a psychological thriller also, and I kind of liked the feedback I got from it, and seeing that how you can create all these plot twists and have people like in a seat like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. So my new movie now, I'm creating a horror psychological thriller.
Mm.
This one is going to be a little bit different because it's horror, like you know, like a scary type of movie, but it's going to have some type of message behind it, which is going to leave people like, wow, this is deep. So
Okay. Okay. Looking forward to that. Look out for that. Please make sure that you, follow, Daddy Love on, all platforms, to be social media, and like I said, the links on this description box below this video. And so, let me ask you, who is like one of the, and it could be anyone, um, who is it that you really would love to work with, as, which actor and which actress? We got to just one for now. Which actor would you love to work with, or, do, in your career, and what actor would you like to, work with? Your dream actor and dream actress.
I swear, I lie to you not. I really don't have one. I just want to work with whoever want to work for me, work with me. So it's not
Yeah.
really. I don't have like, oh, I want to work with this person. There's a lot of great actors out there, great directors and stuff like that.
Just humor me, Daddy Love. Just humor me. If you had the, like, if you really, really like someone that you really, 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 would
Um,
love to work with.
let me see. Who would I want to work with? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you. I promise you, because it's like I love the art behind it, but I just don't really. I feel like the ones that's already there, that's great. I feel like it's not fair for the ones that's coming up. I'd rather work with people that's coming up more than
Yeah,
the people
gotcha.
that's already
So who are
established.
they? I mean, so who are some of the people that are coming up? Like, give me an idea.
Like person like Denzel Washington, of course, every director would love to direct a film that has him in it. If you it depends on type of acting, type of movies, what we're talking about, So these type of actors are definitely well, like Ice Cube, for instance, is a good actor, producer, writer, director. He's pretty dope. I like his the way he went about doing what he did. Kevin Hart, for instance. A lot of Martin, those people that I looked up to, like growing up watching their shows when I did watch TV. But I feel like it's so much great people now that popularity shadows, you know, talent, you know. So I feel like there's a lot of talent that people don't even get to show they worth yet because people want to use the great first, you know.
Yeah, but who are some of that's what I'm asking you. Who are some of the up and coming, like, as to your knowledge, who are some of those that we need to look out for?
I know there's a lot of them in Detroit. I remember
Yeah,
Detroit
yeah.
got good actors in Detroit. I mean, I see the guy that plays in like he plays in like a lot of, I think it's called McGraw Ave, the short guy. He's pretty good.
He's a short guy.
I can't. I'm telling you, I'm not really good with names like that. I see their faces and I'm like, oh, they good. You know. I just watched the movie Nimitz. The guy that plays the black guy, that's one of the main characters. He's pretty good. I like him. You know, so it's a lot of different actors that's out there that's really good. So
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we'll table that one because because I want current minds want to know, but I do get it. Like, I think that you um want to give up and coming artists, the ones that are truly serious about their craft,
correct.
kind of give them opportunity in the platform. And I think artists like yourself, like I said, those independent artists, those who want someone to flourish from the ground up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to you on that one. But Daddy Love, I want to have a little fun with you, okay? This interview has been great so far, but I don't have a little bit of fun with you. So I like to play a little game with the people called this or that.
Okay.
All right.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
All right, so this or that. So I'm gonna come up with random stuff. Don't have to be any particular order, no particular category, and you have to choose one or the other. You can't plead the fifth. You can't say both. All right. All right. So and I'm gonna start off real messy too. I'm gonna be real messy with it too. All right. So blood ties or coke queen.
Blood ties.
So I'm starting already. You see, I ain't know. I ain't right. I ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So spaghetti or lasagna.
Spaghetti.
Okay. Collard greens or cabbage.
Cabbage.
All right. Now, is this the song after party with by Coffee Brown, or um you called and told me by Jeff Red?
You what's it called? You you
You
call
called and told
yeah,
me that
my
coffee
song.
and after party by Coffee Brown.
You call
Um,
you,
don't start you.
yeah,
Be
I like you called
You called and told me.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, so give us a look. Yeah, give us some. Go, help us out. You were singing it. Go ahead.
I don't
give,
know
us,
how to
give us a little bit. Give us a little bit.
that's no it's crazy that you told me that brought back up because I'm gonna add it to my playlist. I ain't heard the song in a while. Thanks for inciting me.
Yeah, okay. No, I was going to tell you is I like to hear people sing the song that they like so much.
That was cool though.
I mean, I'm gonna help you out. We were so happy together. Go ahead.
I don't know. I ain't heard that song in a while,
We
but
were so happy together when we first met.
I don't know. I gotta go back.
See, I like to hear y'all sing too. See, I like to hear. Okay, all right. We're gonna table that too. We got add it to your playlist. Yeah. Who's your Benton or Shabba Rank?
Probably Shabba Ranks.
Okay. And so you said probably.
Yeah.
So music or film?
Film.
Okay, and are you a butt man or a breast man?
Breast.
You have to think about it. I guess at least I guess you breast at the moment. It could
Yeah.
change tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna like really this is extremely random too. And I hear you go, people like, where the heck that come from? But it's extremely random. Um God, I had it too. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Oh God, I just had it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. I got a brain fart just now. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that one. I'm gonna do another one. Oranges or apples?
Orange.
Pineapple or mango?
Mango.
Okay, honeydew or cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe.
I don't know. I'm sorry. You have to excuse me, Data. I have a taste of fruit salad. I'm sorry. That's what that's what I just put on your fruit. I'm so sorry. I had a taste for fruit salad. I think I'm gonna have to. Okay, so popsicles or ices?
Icy.
Oh, okay. And so and I love music, so there's a lot of stuff is gonna be music. So Jasmine Sullivan or her? Her.
Her.
Okay. And so mid condition or 2020.
2020.
All right, thank you for playing with me. You did now. You did good job, good job. I wanted to stick you. I wanted someone to be really I want to try to find something to make you stuck, but you just you just came at me with this. So I'm like, I had to give you props for that. I give credit where credit is due. Yeah. So yeah, but thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. All right. So now these are two final questions I'm going to ask you before you wrap up. Um, and I love the answers that I received. I'm looking forward to hearing your responses as well. Now, if you had the opportunity to have five people at the CDA table, dead or alive, who would they be and why? And I need the why for each person,
5 people.
dead or
Um,
alive.
5 people at the seat at my table. I would have Jay-Z at one at the table. I like his business strategies, the way he see things. Uh, I like his philosophy on certain things. I would say let me see who else. I take 50 Cent also. 50 Cent has a brilliant mind. I like the way he also thinks and the way he put things together. Um, let me see. One of my guys, one of my close friends, his name I call him Jig. He has like a business mindset and the way he carry himself and all that stuff. I'll add him. I'll add my right hand man. His name Q. I'll add him because we all have like they kind of balance me. So that kind of works out. And so how many people is that? That's 4.
That's four.
Yeah, and then I'll probably add let me see. I'll add Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos. I like
Mm.
I like the way I like the way he created the Amazon, his business, his portfolio, how the way he went and structured his business, and the way he designed everything to be how he is today. So I like that.
Okay, that's an interesting roundup. Now, second part to this question, who would get the big piece of chicken and why?
Big piece of chicken. Probably my bro. He greedy. I probably give him the biggest piece.
All right, thank you for sharing that. And so, this final question I take from the late James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. So, Daddy Love, if you were to enter into the pearly gates, what would you want God to say?
Uh, that's a question. 'Cause I don't really believe in it, so I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
If
so
you were, what would you want the universe to say?
he was a great person while he was in the world. He was a
Okay.
great person. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I forgot
No,
that.
no, no, it's fine. No, that's not fine. But yeah, I would say that I would just want people to know that I was a great person while I was here, you know, and all my intentions were pure.
Absolutely.
My intentions
Yeah.
were pure. So
Absolutely. And so I thank you, so much because your intentions are, are very pure. I can see that, I can understand your drive and I can see that. And I know you're going to go far with it. And so I just thank you so much again for being in our presence here in our little piece of platform. And so do you have any final words for us?
now I want to say thank you for even reaching out and having me be a part of your time, your space, your energy and everything. And I hope everything that you got going on, flourish to be the dopest thing
Thank
ever,
you.
So
Thank you so much.
consistency. I always tell people, just don't stop, just keep going. No matter how you're doing it virtual, then you make it get a space and then go to a space. You mean? You never
I
know. So
know, right? Yes.
keep,
Yes, speak on that. Yes.
keep it going. I tell everybody, like, just never stop. The worst thing can happen is you know, keep going,
True.
So,
True. Like, because like, we're not going to lose anything if you, yeah. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, and, Daddy Love, do me a favor. Can you stay behind, while I do my, after I do my outro, can you stay back?
yes, for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much, Daddy Love. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Daddy Love in the building. Thank you so much for being here with us. And God, universe bless you.
Nah, that's cool.
I'm sorry. All right. All right. So, I have to make sure that I, give, respect. That's why I say I always respect one's spiritual belief. And that's one of the reasons why I have this safe space for those who have different perspectives, cultural diversity. That's my goal, to have that type of safe space. But I just really appreciate Daddy Love for coming into the midst with us and sharing his gems and sharing his, the aspects of how he built his career and where he is right now. So I do appreciate him for coming on. And so I'm not going to hold you guys too long, but I just wanted to kind of give you the heads up on my next interview. If I don't come, before then, this coming Wednesday, June 10th, at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be in the presence of Terry T. Miles. So please make sure that you look out for that. And one second. I'll be back. I have to make sure before I forget, I want to make sure that I give Miss Stevie my lip color, um, before I forget, and by NYX, this is the gloss that I use because she asked me, so I had to make sure. And this is Wet and Wild. Um, yeah, so I just have to make sure that I provided this to Miss Stevie here. Here you go, Miss Stevie. Here you go. Lord have mercy. It's this glare. Okay, let me see. Wet and Wild, and let me see. Let me see. What color is this? 'Cause I can't see. Let me see. Red Sensation. Okay, there you go, Miss Stevie. All right. So thank you so much again for being here. And in the meantime, you guys, won't you just do what my man AT2 instructs you to do here?
Make sure you subscribe today because you gonna have to pay. I don't know what, but you gonna have to pay. Hey, break it down.
Have a good one.